Number 10. Imagine playing a horror game where you're not the hero, you're the cameraman. A man is standing on a railway crossing. A train is only seconds away. You have a choice: save him or keep filming. And the disturbing part? The game rewards you for getting the shot. This is Michigan Report from Hell, one of the strangest horror games ever released on the PlayStation 2. Developed by Grasshopper Manufacture, the game's original concept came from producer Goichi Suda, better known as Suda51. Inspired in part by Stephen King's The Mist, it takes a familiar horror setup and twists it into something completely different. You're not armed with a shotgun, you're armed with a television camera. Every encounter becomes a moral decision. Do you risk your own safety to save someone's life, or keep the camera rolling for a better story? And that's only the beginning. One of the game's most fascinating ideas is that it refuses to reload if a reporter dies. Instead, they're replaced by someone else, and the story keeps moving. Depending on who survives, your journey through the fog can unfold in completely different ways, making every playthrough feel surprisingly unique. More than 20 years later, there's still nothing else quite like it. Number 9. If Devil May Cry and Crouching Tiger Hidden Dragon ever had a baby, it'd probably be Bujingai the Forsaken City. At first glance, it looks like another PlayStation 2 action game. Then you start running up walls, launching enemies into the air, and slicing through attacks with lightning-fast precision. The combat feels less like a hack and slash, and more like you're starring in your own martial arts movie. The hero, Lao Wong, was even modelled after Japanese rock superstar Gact, giving the game a style that stood out from almost everything else on the console. Every fight rewards timing over button mashing. Learn your enemy's attacks, master your counters, and before long you'll be chaining together spectacular sword fights that still look impressive today. If stylish action games are your thing, Bujingai is one adventure that's well worth experiencing. Number 8. Most survival games throw zombies at you. Raw Danger just drops an entire city on your head. This is Raw Danger, a survival adventure where the disaster itself is your greatest enemy. There's no army of monsters to fight, no superpowers, no magic weapon waiting around the corner, just collapsing buildings, flooded streets, and thousands of people desperately trying to escape with their lives. Instead of following one hero, Raw Danger tells its story through multiple survivors, each with their own path through the disaster. Sometimes you'll witness the same catastrophe from a completely different perspective, giving every chapter a fresh look at the city's collapse. And while you're trying to stay alive, you'll also need to watch your hunger, your thirst, and even your body temperature. It's a level of survival that was surprisingly ambitious for the PlayStation 2. If you've never played Raw Danger, it's one disaster you'll be glad you survived. Number 7. What if an RPG let you ignore the adventure and become a street musician instead? This is Steambot Chronicles. Most open-world games push you towards the main story. This one gives you the freedom to make your own. You can perform music for spare change, deliver cargo, take on odd jobs, or simply explore its charming world at your own pace. And when trouble finds you, you climb into a giant Trotmobile, a steam-powered machine that turns every battle into a clunky, mechanical brawl. The best part? Very few players experience the game the same way. The choices you make affect your reputation, your relationships, and even how the story ends. It's the kind of PlayStation 2 game that encourages you to slow down. Forget about saving the world and simply live in it. If you've never experienced Steambot Chronicles, there's still nothing else quite like it. Number 6. Shadow of Rome. Gladiator games are rare. Great gladiator games are almost impossible to find. This is Shadow of Rome. Forget fighting for a championship, you're fighting for your life. Every battle throws you into a brutal arena where the crowd isn't just watching, they're judging every move you make. The more spectacular your kills, the louder they cheer, and the better your rewards become. Between the gladiator battles, the game switches things up with stealth missions as Octavian, giving you a chance to uncover the conspiracy behind Julius Caesar's assassination. It's a strange combination. But when you're standing in the arena with dozens of enemies closing in, it's easy to see why Shadow of Rome has earned such a loyal following. If you've never experienced it, this is one PlayStation 2 exclusive that's still worth stepping into the arena for. Number 5. Ever wanted to be the first one through the door? This is Urban Chaos Riot Response, a first-person shooter where you're not playing a lone hero. You're part of an elite riot response unit sent straight into the middle of a city that's tearing itself apart. Every mission feels different. One moment you're rescuing hostages, the next you're disarming bombs, putting out fires, or clearing buildings filled with heavily armed gangs. It's intense from start to finish, but if there's one thing every player remembers, it's the shotgun. Heavy, powerful, and easily one of the most satisfying weapons on the PlayStation 2. If you're looking for a forgotten first-person shooter that still holds up today, Urban Chaos Riot Response deserves a place on your list. Number 4. Wish Star Wars had more pirates? This is Rogue Galaxy, an adventure that takes you across an entire galaxy, fighting pirates, hunting giant monsters, exploring ancient ruins, and travelling between wildly different planets. Combat is completely real-time. You're constantly dodging attacks, switching between party members, and chaining together special abilities to overwhelm your enemies. Every character brings something different to the fight, whether it's close-range sword combat, heavy ranged attacks, or powerful support abilities. Outside of battle, there's always something to do. You can craft stronger weapons by combining them together, recruit factory workers to build useful items, take on monster hunting contracts, or spend hours collecting rare insects for one of the game's strangest side activities. There's always another planet to explore, another quest to complete, or another weapon to upgrade. If you've never played Rogue Galaxy, it's one PlayStation 2 adventure that's easy to lose yourself in. Number 3. What if the Ghostbusters carried assault rifles? This is Ghosthunter. You play as Lazarus Jones, a rookie cop who accidentally unleashes hundreds of ghosts, then has to hunt every last one of them down. Armed with experimental ghost hunting equipment, you'll weaken spirits with conventional weapons, then switch to your ghost capture device before they escape. Every ghost behaves differently. Some charge straight at you, others attack from a distance, and stronger enemies force you to constantly switch between dodging, shooting, and capturing. As you progress, you'll unlock new weapons, upgrade your ghost hunting gear, and take on increasingly powerful supernatural creatures. The game also mixes things up with puzzle solving, exploration, and some genuinely creepy locations that still hold up today. If you've never played Ghosthunter, it's one of the most original action games on the PlayStation 2. Number 2. What if World War II took a very different turn because giant robots entered the battlefield? This is Ring of Red, set in an alternate history where towering machines change the future of warfare. Every battle blends real-time strategy. With turn-based tactics, you'll move your units across the battlefield, position them carefully, then take direct control as shells fly, infantry advance, and your armoured fighting walkers exchange devastating fire. Victory isn't just about having the biggest machine. Your infantry are just as important. They can repair damaged walkers, lay down supporting fire, and turn the tide of a battle if used at the right moment. Every decision matters. Move too quickly, and you'll leave your support units behind. Wait too long, and the enemy will overwhelm your position. It's a slower, more tactical experience, but that's exactly what gives every battle its tension. If you're looking for a strategy game that tried something completely different, Ring of Red is one PlayStation 2 classic that's still unlike anything else. Number 1. Bullets are everywhere. Standing still isn't an option. This is the Red Star, an action game where surviving means constantly weaving through enemy fire before charging straight back into the fight. Most shooters reward you for keeping your distance. The Red Star rewards you for getting up close. Every battle blends gunplay with brutal melee combat, forcing you to switch between the two if you want to survive. The further you progress, the more chaotic every encounter becomes. Explosions, dozens of enemies, and screens filled with bullets. Yet somehow, It never feels unfair. Every dodge, every punch, and every shot brings you one step closer to victory. If you miss the red star, you're not alone, but it's one of the most satisfying action games ever released on the PlayStation 2,